Hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88, and today for my next superhero movie review is the 1987, the original, the classic, Robocop. This was one of my most favorite first Robocop movie ever, including they made two other Robocop movies, but they weren't as best as the first one. They were okay, they were alright, but either way, this first one had like a lot of graphic violence, more action scenes, and it was a sci-fi movie, so this was even great. So 5 things about this movie. 1, it had a good storyline. 2, a good director. 3, great action scenes, most epic ones ever. 4, graphic violence. And 5, it took place in the future. So those were the 5 things I really liked about this movie. So if those of you are very familiar about this movie, if those of you seen it, so that's good. And those of you didn't see the original Robocop, then you should definitely see this movie. So without like explaining or telling the whole plot of this movie, I'll like summarize it so that way one cop named Alex Murphy, he goes on patrol with his partner, and all of a sudden he gets gunned down and killed and murdered. That's where the story and his origins of Robocop, which I forgot to mention, they had a good origin story of about Robocop. And so he was taken to the hospital, but then he was going on to this one corporation called OCP, which they run for the OCP police department. They did a little surgery on him, so they decided to make him much more unstoppable, put a man in a robot suit. So, well, not exactly a robot suit, but a robot in him. So he is now part man, part machine, and that's where we see and introduce is to Robocop. The actor who plays as Robocop, which is Peter Weller, he played as Robocop, and he was also a familiar actor. He was from Star Trek Into Darkness, and he did the voice of Batman in The Dark Knight Returns. So he was a familiar actor. I always know him as Robocop. So for Peter Weller to play as Robocop, he did a great job of playing as him. To make the movement of Robocop, the voice of Robocop, it was really magnificent. It was really great for him, and I really enjoyed seeing him playing as Robocop, and especially where he takes off the helmet and you see his face at the end of this film. He fights off the bad guys without his helmet, so that was definitely a great action to him. And like in the first half of the beginning, we see Robocop like going out on patrol, fighting off bad guys, fighting crime, and especially his favorite lines of "Your move, creep," or "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." Those are great lines in action sequence, and almost at the second half of this story, we see Robocop all of a sudden starting to become much more human, like turning back into Alex Murphy once again. We see him all in motion, all angry, and all revenge, just to get back on the bad guys who like gunned him down. There was another familiar actor, which I forgot his name, but he was in the TV series of That 70s Show. He played as Eric's father, Red Foreman. He was a good actor too, but the last time I even saw him was That 70s Show, and that was it. No big films or no big films he was in, so most of the time he was always in that 70s Show series. I always see him. The director, Paul Verhoeven, who directed this first Robocop movie, and it was magnificent that he directed this great film. And the designer who designed the Robocop costume was Rob Button. I think his design when he designed the Robocop costume was like practically made him much more machinery, like make him much more of a robot, like part man, part machine. Like really great to see the costume effects and to make him look like that he is a Robocop. Make him as a machine, not much more of a guy wearing a rubber suit and metal plates, that's it. But it was making it much more more realistic. It was the design, it was great. The sequence was even great, including with the animation, the stop animation motion that they used on the other robot, that other machine. I forgot what it's called, but I've seen only just the first one and then the third one. That was it. So. But practically, it was amazing. It was a magnificent movie. So, just to rate this movie, I would have to give it a best 10 out of 10 that equals 100% superhero badass Robocop movie ever. This was even great. This was fantastic, and also with this new Robocop movie that's going to come in theaters, which is next month. I mean, the sequence to this new Robocop movie is it's really good, including the visual effects and CGI. But with this new actor who's going to play as the new Robocop, we'll just see how he does, and just hope nothing messes up. Or to compare with the original, it's still the best. But once I see this new Robocop movie, I'll see how it is and review it. And hopefully it's not as bad or terrible than the Robocop 2 and 3. And I do have this the original on DVD. So this is P.M.R.Bonez88 signing off and saying is peace!